He woke up in the same box, walked across the same rectangular floor. He ate the same flavorless square. He then followed the same perfectly straight line to a job where he stamped endless squares onto endless rectangles. Every single day was a perfect, monotonous copy of the last. His entire world was drawn with a ruler, a stark black and white existence, completely devoid of surprise, devoid of choice, and devoid of color. He felt a deep, hollow emptiness that the sharp corners of his world couldn't possibly fill. Was this all there was to life? A predictable journey from one box to another? He'd look at his simple stick hands and wonder if they could do more than just stamp, carry, and conform. He'd stare at the horizon, a perfectly straight, unforgiving line, and feel a deep, aching longing for something curved, something alive. He once tried to zigzag his walk to work, to create his own path, but the world seemed to pull him back, correcting his every deviation. He was a prisoner of the page, a character in a story he didn't write, and the ink was drying. Then, one afternoon, something impossible happened. A single leaf, with a gentle flowing curve and intricate veins, drifted down from the top of the world and landed at his feet. It wasn't a square. It wasn't a triangle. It was elegant, organic. He cautiously touched its delicate edge, and a spark ignited in his simple circle head. An idea. He looked down and saw a piece of his own world, a fallen, solid line, lying on the ground. He picked it up. It felt like a pencil. Hesitantly, he knelt and drew a shaky circle on the stark white floor. He added small, curved petals around it, one by one. As he connected the last one, the shape exploded with a brilliant, impossible yellow. The color was so vibrant it seemed to hum with life, warming his stick figure frame. Stunned, he looked at his creation, then at the blank sky. He drew a massive circle and filled it with that same glorious yellow, a sun. The world was suddenly bathed in a warm, gentle light. He drew jagged green lines beneath his feet, and they became soft grass. He was no longer just a character, he was a creator. But with creation came the shadow of doubt. A colossal eraser, gray and imposing, descended from the sky. It was the silent voice that says, "You can't." It began to rub out his world, starting with that first yellow flower, smudging his sun. Panic surged through him, but the sight of his color fading was infinitely worse than the cold comfort of his old black and white prison. He gripped his pencil line and drew with a new frenzy. For every flower the eraser wiped away, he drew two more. He drew a winding blue river to block its path. He drew a towering, magnificent tree with squirming branches that reached for his new sun. It became a frantic, desperate battle between creation and erasure. Other stick figures, who had watched from the safety of their boxes, saw the struggle. They saw the impossible color. They saw one of them fighting for it. One brave figure stepped out of their line, then another and another. They picked up their own pencils and joined the fight. They added red houses with round doors, purple birds with looping flight paths, and soft, puffy clouds. The world erupted into a symphony of color and shape. The eraser, overwhelmed by a reality it could no longer control, hesitated, then slowly faded into nothingness. He stood on a hill of his own making, watching a sun he had drawn set over a world he had imagined. The air was no longer silent. It was filled with the song of the birds they had created together. He wasn't a prisoner anymore. He was a pioneer. And he realized the truth. The boundaries of our world are often just lines waiting to be redrawn. That the most powerful tool anyone can possess is the ability to imagine something different and the profound courage to draw that vision into existence, one brave, beautiful, colorful stroke at a time.